Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and jump off the COVID 19 shit since I think by now people are starting to realize that everything I was saying was true, that it's just a bunch of bullshit. Obviously, I'm not saying that people aren't dying, but, I'm saying that the mortality rate that we were being told is bullshit. Um, on 695, the Beltway around Baltimore, you see the digital signs that say, wear a mask and stay home, save lives. CDC already said that they recanted what they previously had said and said that masks pretty much don't work and that you actually have a better chance of not getting sick by being outside because UV light, which we all know. I mean, that's what UV light kills viruses. Why do you think the flu is seasonal? Get it? You fucking morons. I hate making these videos. I make them because it just lets me vent. Sometimes I make them and I never even post them. Sometimes I sit here for 20 minutes and I just record shit and then I just delete it later because it just lets me get my thoughts out. But I've said in previous videos, I'm going to touch on COVID-19 before getting into what I really want to talk about. But actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I've done enough of that. What I want to talk about now is this fucking George Floyd bullshit. Alright, I'm gonna fucking say shit that nobody wants to say, but everybody thinks, but they don't want to admit that they think it. Because if you're white and you think it, you think that you're racist. Because white guilt fucks with your mind. Because you're a fucking coward and you're too stupid to think for yourself. And if you're black, you don't want to admit it, because then you have to admit that your culture and your race are inherently more violent than other races. And quite frankly, less intelligent. I mean, if we're really gonna fucking open up the fucking bag and fucking get into it, then let's just fucking call it for what it is. I almost said call a spade, but that would have been racist. You know what? I was sitting here just watching a reaction video, and somebody had a whole. I'm looking through the comments, and somebody had a whole paragraph, and they're talking about George Floyd, and he paid for his crimes, and Candace Owens, she shouldn't have said what she said, and he was frustrated on what she said, and how what did he say? I wish I wrote it down. I would have fucking read it verbatim, but basically he's like, uh, she's only bringing up his criminal record to try and dehumanize him, and he paid for his sins through going to jail, and he was an upstanding member of society. And it's like, and I literally responded, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make a list. This is what I said in my comment responding specifically to this guy. I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and break down how everything you said was false. One, he wasn't an upstanding member of society. He was high on methamphetamines and fentanyl at the time of his arrest. Witnesses said he was acting strange. He was trying to spend counterfeit money. Now, I've actually tried to spend a $20 counterfeit bill. I didn't know it was counterfeit. My boss paid me, and then I went to Drug City Pharmacy, where there's a liquor store there, and I went to spend it, and they used that little marker and showed up it was fake. This was years and years ago. I asked them, I'm like, well, what do I do to get my money back? And they started to explain it, and I was like, fuck it, it ain't worth $20. No big deal. They weren't mad. They understood that I wasn't some mastermind trying to spend counterfeit money. Money changes hands. Sometimes you just get a bill that ain't real. You don't know how you got it. You just got it. Shit, it is what it is. So I was like, fuck it, that's $20 I'll never get back. No big deal. But yet George Floyd has the police called on him. Why? Makes you ask, makes you wonder. Then the guy is talking about how the justice system is broken, and I said, really, the justice system's not broken, it's flawed. It's always going to be flawed because humans run it, and humans are flawed. Anything ran by a flawed system is going to be flawed because the things that run it are flawed. It's just the way it is. Machinery is flawed. Apparently, eventually parts break, so on and so on. Then he says that George Floyd was an upstanding member of society. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He had, from 1997 to 2007, he had 9 cases that he got charged with. 6 of them were felonies. 3 of them were drug charges. One of them was when he went into a house, pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's stomach while his buddies ransacked the house looking for drugs and money. When they couldn't find him, he ended up taking some jewelry and rolled out. But the neighbor got the tags on their way out, and they called him and locked him up. My point in the comment was, I was talking about retired police captain, St. Louis, David Dorn. I think it was St. Louis. This man, 77 years old, 38 years working on the police force, 5 kids, 10 grandkids, made it 38 years, faithfully serving his community, a beacon in his community and within the precinct. People loved him. He was a good guy. He was such a good guy that even after he was retired, his friend's pawn shop had a silent alarm go off, and he got the call and he responded. Off duty. He ain't a cop no more. 77 years old. Let me go over there and see what's up. Black man shoots him. Then streams the shooting and the death to Facebook Live. Where's Black Lives Matter? Why ain't anybody talking about this? Why isn't this on the news every single day? You know what's on the news? Nancy Pelosi wearing fucking kente or kunte, I can't remember. African tribes colors, garb. I actually saw a YouTube video of an African woman. She wasn't American. She was like, she knew the tribe. She was like, that's a kente garb, and you're wearing it, and you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. But meanwhile, these old ass white fucking dumbass fucking Democrats, these fucking left liberals, are trying to pander to to black people, just like they always do. Let's make it look like we feel sorry for them so that we get their votes. These motherfuckers don't care about black people. But they'll do whatever they can. Just like fucking Hillary Clinton when she went on fucking one of those radio stations and they asked her what's something that she always carries with her in her purse, and she goes, hot sauce. Really? You carry hot sauce? Do you really? Even if you carried hot sauce, if you're in a room full of black people at a black radio station, you wouldn't be dumb enough as a politician to say you carry hot sauce, because you would know that they would be smart enough to realize that you're pandering to them. You'd just say mayonnaise. You'd say a cone. You'd say fucking pepper spray. You'd say anything except hot sauce, unless you're trying to pander, which is what these fucking liberal assholes are doing. And then I get this fucking response on this fucking YouTube channel. I get somebody who goes, do you really think David Dorm with an M, stupid motherfucker, either mispronounced it, or not misspelled it, or didn't even know who I'm talking about. He says, do you think David Dorm deserves to be a hero in the black community when he was killing cops? Do you think that's what Candace Owens would support? So I respond back. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about David Dorn, not David Dorm. I don't know who David Dorm is, but I'm talking about, a guy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I explained the whole thing, which I already said. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about, but it just goes to show you how just how stupid people are. This guy had no idea who David Dorn is. He obviously is just saying shit. But this is what we're up against. We're up against morons. I mean, I don't understand how people don't get, like, I understand how people don't get how liberals are running this country. It's the reason why people don't get it is because they don't follow politics like that. I only recently started doing it in the last year or so. And my eyes have been opened up to so much shit that is blatantly happening to us. It's not hidden in any way. It's right there. It's on the surface. You just have to fucking see it. And people aren't seeing it. And it just blows my mind that people aren't seeing it. Every major like news media is ran by left Democrats. The Academy Awards, Hollywood, that's all ran by Democrats, liberals. Big tech companies, colleges. Go on YouTube. If you think what I'm saying is bullshit, go on YouTube. Search out any video where Larry Elders. Wait, Larry? That doesn't sound right. Did I just say his name? I don't know. Yeah, Larry Elders, I think is his name. Candace Owens. Ben Shapiro. Dave Rubin. Dr. Jordan Peterson. Steven Crowder. The list goes on and on. Find any video where they're speaking at a college. Watch what happens. At some point during their speech, a group of people, almost always, without fail, come in. You got hundreds of people that are there listening to this discussion, speech, whatever you want to call it. Everybody there is there because they want to be there. And then some group will come in and just start, shame, shame, shame. And the speakers always say the same thing. They go, hey, listen, guys, I got about 45 more minutes to speak, but at the end we're going to have a Q&A, and if you disagree, I give you the right to jump to the front of the line. I don't want to talk to people that agree with everything I'm saying. I want to talk to people that disagree. That way we can have a back and forth. Shame, shame, shame. And they'll do that for like 15, 20 minutes. And what people don't realize is that the administrators of the college will tell the police that are there to keep the peace that if they forcefully remove, or not even forcefully, if they remove the protesters in any way, shape, or form, the administration will shut down the entire speech. They'll shut down everything. Because they don't want these people there speaking at their colleges. Oh, they'll take whatever money, they'll take the clout, but they don't believe in it. They want the college students to grow up as Democratic pussies. So they'll tell the cops, flat out. Ben Shapiro asked one of the cops, when Ben Shapiro was doing a speech, he looked at the cops, he was like, can you get them out of here? And the cop told him, he was like, we were told by the college administration if we remove them, they're going to shut everything down. So they just have to basically just stand there and put up with this shit until these protesters wear themselves out. And on the few occasions where they're allowed to remove them, when they remove them, you'll hear, you'll see him, the dude will be walking out and be like, you're violating my freedom of speech. It's like, no, they're not. You don't have a right to come in and disrupt. That's not peaceful protest. You don't have a right to come in to an auditorium where a person is speaking and all the people in the room want to hear what they have to say, but you don't, and then you want to come in and disrupt the whole conversation. That's not freedom of speech. That's you being a fucking asshole and it's you breaking the law. And you're being removed. I'm really concerned about where this fucking country is going. People that don't pay attention to this might think I'm just being a little bit over the top. People might think, there goes Mike again. Who knows what he's talking about. No. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, then you need to educate yourself on this shit. Because this is our country, and this shit matters. To whoever watches this, if you have kids, you might want to fucking educate yourself on this. Because the fucking Democrats, the liberals, are destroying everything that it means to be American. You got fucking the governor of LA, that was out there telling people 6 weeks ago that you couldn't even go to visit your own family members because the risk of spreading COVID-19 is too high. Then a week ago, he's out there not wearing a mask in certain situations, and he's standing hand to hand with protesters. Trump wants to bring in National Guard and everybody's acting like he's a fucking monster for it. Really? So, when did this country become a country where we just allow people to throw hissy fits? If you're a parent watching this, would you allow your children to do that? Or would you put your foot down and say, no, I know better. I'm the parent and I'm telling you this is unacceptable. So why the fuck is our government allowing its people to run shit? How the fuck are we allowing people to overtake City Hall in fucking Washington or whatever the fucking state it was that they just took it? Back in Baltimore when the riots were going on, where I live, not Sheila Dixon, what was her name? The cute chubby chick, black chick. I can't remember her name, doesn't matter. But they put out old abandoned police cars in areas where riots were going on so that the rioters would have something to destroy. Well, let them direct their anger at this. No. Throw some fucking tear gas in the crowd, get SWAT out there, and start hitting motherfuckers in the face with rubber bullets. Fuck these people. Who the fuck are they to destroy my way of life? Who the fuck are we as a country and as a people to allow these fucking crybabies that don't do research, that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to dictate how we have to live? George Floyd. Oh, he was a hero. Really? From 1997 to 2007, he had committed 9 crimes that he had faced charges for. 6 of them were felonies. 3 of them were drug charges. 1, he had held a gun at a pregnant woman's stomach. You know, what the fuck? Meanwhile, David Dorn was a hero. Where the fuck is the media? Where's Black Lives Matter? Nobody's talking about this. 5 children, 10 grandkids. Life snuffed out. Like that. And nobody gives a fuck. But everybody wants to sit here, black people want to sit there and talk about fucking George Floyd? Fuck that motherfucker, man. How about, what was his name? Tony Timby? 2016, 2017, something like that, Texas. Called the cops, white guy. Called the cops. Said, I'm off my medications, I'm schizophrenic, I'm scared, I don't feel safe, I need the police to come and help me. 20 minutes after the cops arrived on scene, he was dead. He called them. They showed up, they arrested him, and they put a white cop put his knee on his neck for over 10 fucking minutes. Isn't it interesting that anybody that watches this doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about? Because it was a white guy that died? Only reason it became recent news is because they released the body cam footage. Cops were making jokes. They thought he was sleeping. They didn't know he was dead. They're making jokes. Yeah, when we wake him up, we're going to be like, hey, son, time to get up and go to school. Don't forget your lunch. You can find the footage. I'm not just making this shit up. Nothing happened. Because it was a white guy. Then you got black people out there. Oh, no, black people are killed all the time. It's an epidemic. No, it's not. 25%, black people are 25% less likely to get killed by cops than whites, because cops already know the last thing they want to do is kill a black person, because they're going to have their career ruined. Their entire life is going to be upended. 3 times as many white people get killed unarmed by cops than black people. I might be fucking that stat up a bit. That's one thing about me. If I think I'm wrong or I am wrong, I'll say it. I'm so fucking done with these protests and this fucking crying ass bullshit, man. Especially white people that are fucking apologizing for white guilt. Motherfucker, you weren't alive when black people were being fucking enslaved. And the black people today weren't alive when black people were being enslaved. So stop fucking apologizing and stop making yourself out to be a victim. Grow the fuck up. You don't owe black people an apology. They owe themselves an apology. Stop committing crime. Stop getting fucking women pregnant. Educate yourself, for fuck's sake. Lyndon Johnson fucking started the goddamn welfare state in the 1960s. Planned Parenthood, Democratic, bullshit idea to keep black people's population under control. Come here, you can have an abortion. Keep the black population low. Fucking educate yourself on this shit. I'm done. Fucking stupid motherfuckers.